edition of In Focus. You see my partner there is Rick Mickney. Hey Rick, how you doing?
Great, Scott. How are you doing?
Very good, thanks. Hope everybody had a great Christmas and a happy New Year. And we're going to start the new year off with a new In Focus episode. So let's get right to it. And we're going to be on the clock. And away we go. Okay. Late in the year of 2019, you got invited to participate in the top 8 in China. Tell me a little bit about that trip.
It was a long time getting there, that's for sure. It's 3 different airports, and getting through all the security in China is unbelievable. It's crazy.
Security conscious in China?
Security is out of this world. Like when you enter the country, you're getting your face recognition done. You check into your hotel, you're getting face recognition done. There's cameras on every light post.
Wow.
So they're keeping an eye. But it was a great time. The people that were over there, all the guys in the top 8 were great to hang out with. The referees that we had over there, we had a really good time. And anytime you get to experience a culture, different culture than your own, you should always take it. Doesn't matter how long it takes you to get there, but go out and experience the world. You only live once. Go out and see as much of the world as you can, and take in every culture that you can.
Absolutely. It sounds like it would have been an amazing trip. The only thing that would draw me back is that damn traveling over there had to be a bitch, really.
It was, I think it took me 24 hours, something like that in total to get there. Right to Shenzhen, because I had to fly from Toronto to Beijing into Shenzhen. And I mean, that Beijing airport's massive, and you got to jump on trains and get from one spot to another spot.
Wow.
So you're hustling your ass. I mean, you think you get a lot of time, and you don't.
Okay, so how many referees did they invite to officiate this event?
There were 6 of us, I believe.
Okay.
So
that's a pretty big crew for
yeah. Well, there was
matches.
No, there was a tournament also.
Oh, okay.
There was like a vendetta tournament. And so they had that. They had the tournament first, and we were refereeing with some of the local Chinese referees, and we ran a referee seminar, and we did that, and then after the vendetta was over, then we took and ran the top 8. So the way we ran it, they didn't have cameras. I don't know if you noticed in the final top 8. There's one head referee, then there's a downside referee that's watching monitors. That's why you don't see a referee in there, a downside referee at all. There's just one referee watching monitors. Well, over there they didn't have the monitors set up, so we had referees set at specific points, and so the head referee would have a headset on, and he would or she would talk to the downside referee, which was 15 feet from the table, out of camera view. And they would watch, give you a thumbs up on the wrist and the elbows and all that kind of stuff. Then there'd be another person off in one corner watching one elbow pad. Then there's a person in another opposite angle watching the other elbow pad. So that way you were catching everything that was going on. You had no way you were going to get anything missed. And so everything ran off flawlessly. First time I'd used a system like that. So you're always a little nervous when you're trying something different.
For sure.
But it worked really good. I had the opportunity to referee the Rustam Babiev and Tim Bresnan match.
Oh yeah, cool.
So that went really well. Tim looked real good there. He was just able to take out Rustam, take him out of his hook, and basically have his way with him, really, as far as his wrist. Rustam couldn't turn him into a hook, and Tim could just hold him off, which was quite a difference from the last time that they met.
Okay. Number one, Igor always puts on a good show. He really does. He knows how to put together an event and show it.
Absolutely. With the big screens all around, and the entrance of the athletes and stuff like that. He really makes the people that enter these competitions feel special. Okay. And they should be. These are the top guys, and he's making them feel special. And there were some really interesting matchups there that you wouldn't think went the way they were gonna, and I think a lot of people had their eyes open to Kitagali and how well he pulled, and so he's now going to be pulling 95 kilo.
Okay.
John's going to have his hands full, I think, with John Brzenk.
John's coming off of a few-year layoff, really.
Yeah.
So to come back in, and I understand John is John,
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
John,
Never bet against him. I don't care who he's going against. I do not bet against him.
Yeah. However, we're not getting any younger.
Yeah.
So that I wonder how much that layoff is going to affect John.
Time will tell, I guess.
Well, it will. It's going to be interesting as hell to see him in the first round of the top 8.
I'm not sure who he's pulling first round. The matchups are already getting set.
Okay.
So his first matchup is already set. And we got to give a big shout out to Joe Fox, who is heading to Belarus January 25th. If he wins that match, he's going to be in the top 8.
So, and that's a qualifying match?
That's a qualifying match. All he has to do is win this match.
How did he get the tap to go to that?
His performance at the Zloty in Poland. He didn't have a very good World Championships in the IFA. But then he said, well, I'm here. I'm going to join the Zloty. He went in. There was, I think, 16, 17 guys in there. He took a 7th in the that 95 kilo class, which put him up there high enough to. There's a couple of pull-offs. They've already had one in Kiev, and now this is going to be the last to determine the last spot. And he's pulling. My mind's gone blank from Latvia.
Okay.
Yeah.
Somebody from Latvia. That's very cool.
Yes, and I mean, okay, so he's got to pay his way to get to Belarus to do this. But then if he gets in there, I mean, I'm pretty sure one of the spots is Dubai for the top 8.
Oh, there's a rough trip.
Yeah. I mean, geez, I'm hoping I get that call.
Yeah, really. Okay, so just getting back to the China end of things first. And you did a referee seminar over in China?
Yeah, there was only a few referees there.
How were the Chinese refereeing?
They weren't bad.
Okay.
They definitely needed some work.
Yeah.
But, once we started working with them and, it came around.
Is China new to the arm wrestling game?
I don't know how long they've been at it, actually, but they're moving fast.
Okay.
Like, there was a pretty good crowd there, and from what I'm seeing, China's going to be, just like anything on the world stage, China's going to be a force to be reckoned with. Okay. You give them a few years and look out.
Well, that's how the Russians came along. The Russians were getting their butts kicked by the Americans and the Canadians when they first started off.
Oh yeah, I mean you go back to the late '90s and early 2000s. By about 2003, that's when they really started coming into their own.
One of my upcoming tournaments to post on my YouTube channel, shameless plug here, 1994 Golden Bear.
Oh wow! Wow.
However, that's the stack that's still being processed. This is the stuff that's ready to be.
94, so Dave Hicks would be one of the top dudes over there.
Yeah, I spotted a little preview.
Yeah, I was going to say, Dave's a legend in Russia. Yeah.
Deservedly so. I know we're a little bit off topic, but one of my arm wrestling heroes is Dave Hicks.
Absolutely.
Come on. So who else got invited to go to China to referee with you?
There was Judy. I won't even attempt to.
Those European names for us are a bit tough.
Yeah. Oleg from Latvia was there. Lena from Ukraine was there. Zil, who's the PAL head referee, was there.
That's 5 of you.
I think that's it. So there's 5. Sorry. Andrei Maslov was there.
From Russia.
From Russia, and Andrei's wife. Jeez, I'm sorry, I forgot her name.
She referees as well?
No, she was just a downside.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you got six top level
Yeah.
referees.
Yeah.
So nothing wrong with that.
That's why everything ran off flawlessly.
A nice try.
Yeah.
So it was well worth it?
Oh, absolutely. Do that in a heartbeat again. I'd definitely go back. I mean, we had quite a bit of spare time actually because we were over there. I mean, I wanted to get there, a day or so I didn't know how much the jet lag was going to affect me. So then we went out touring around, jumping on the train, going down to different parts of town. And, they got a huge electronics place. It was just massive, and it's nothing but electronics.
Really?
Yeah, well, it's funny too because afterwards we were out shopping around, and Rustam, he's over there buying up cell phones because they were so much cheaper. So,
So did you find, did you look at prices and was stuff cheaper than we can get it here in Canada?
Some things.
Some things? Okay.
Like your Apple products, going to be the same. I'm not an Apple guy anyway, so it didn't matter. So, But I guess the Huawei was, like, the Huawei products were quite a bit cheaper.
Okay.
If I wouldn't have known I was going to lose my tablet on the way home, I would have bought a tablet over
Oh.
there.
Yeah, if only we could have that foresight.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, that's pretty well everything I needed to know about China, and
Oh, there's our 10 minutes up.
there's our 10 minute per. Okay, and then in this past fall, so topic number 2, we also had all at once the IFA First World Championships, the Zloty tournament, and the top 8. So
Yeah, we kind of brushed on the a bit of the Zloty and that, and
so that was your first experience at Zloty?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, because I mean the other one in China was a Vendetta, so yeah, this was a Zloty. Great tournament again. Igor puts on a great show.
How many tables did Igor run for Zloty?
I think it was 4.
He ran 4 tables?
I think we had 4 tables on the go.
Okay.
Yeah, and because there's only a few classes.
Yes.
There's not near as many classes, so I can't remember what the classes are. Several of the WAF champions
We're there.
were there,
Okay.
so that means I guess they'll be in IFA next year because they can't go back to WAF. So anyway, so yeah, and so that was a great experience, doing this Zloty. You're pounding out the matches. There were some good-sized classes in there, 17 guys in several of the classes. The girls, I think, is going to take a while to build up the women's classes. But I mean, you got Malin in there, you got Sarah Bachman in
So
there.
Sarah Bachman, I'm watching video.
Ay,
She's
ay,
competing
ay.
in a sling
Yeah,
and still winning.
yeah, yeah. That's an amazing girl. She actually flew back from Poland. She was on our flight coming. Because her flights were better flying into Montreal than they were flying through the States. Yeah, but it was a good experience. Like I said, those Swedish girls are unbelievable. And then you had the top 8.
Yep.
I did not really expect it to go the way it did.
Okay.
You had Tim and Trubin, and I said, somebody asked me how it's going to go. I said, well, it depends on which Trubin shows up. Some days he looks unbeatable.
Yes.
Other days it looks like I could beat him.
He looks normal, yeah.
Yeah, and so, and that day he was the unbeatable one. He looked, well, I think Tim said he dislocated his thumb or something the first match.
Very first match, yeah, he was hurt.
So, yeah, kind of hard to pull then. But anyway, Trubin looked unbelievable there. So he moves on to the next stage. The other one was Alex Kuchera. I think I butchered his name too. And Rustam. And he kind of took a page out of Tim's playbook from China and basically did the same thing to Rustam that Tim did. Kept him out of his hook. I was able to pull through. He's a big, strong dude. He has to have a challenge match. I think he's going to have one to get into the top 8 because he was in the bottom too. So he's got to fight his way back in and stay in the top 8.
Okay.
But I'm not sure. I think he's pulling on the same card that Joe Fox is on the 25th in Belarus. So he's got to fight his way back in the 2020 top 8. Then you had Kitagali and Prudnik. And you know what? I didn't really know which way that was going to go. Prudnik's unbelievable.
Absolutely.
Absolutely unbelievable. But Kitagali was so close. Like he was you saw some great pictures from that match. Prudnik trying to get him in the hook and Kitagali trying to, fighting him off. And I was like, man, just, you had your typical hooker versus top roll, and this one, the hooker won type thing. So that was a great match. Prudnik came out on top. I think he won 5-1. And then going in the end, it's funny, I was talking to a lot of people, and many people predicted Vitaly to beat Levin.
Levin, really?
A lot of people. I won't mention any names in case.
No.
But a lot of people predicted, and you know what? I didn't know it because he looked so good in China up against Prudnik. His top roll just looked phenomenal. But then again, now it goes to show you how good Levin is. And there's nobody on the face of the earth right now that's beating Levin.
He's the number one guy?
He's got to be the number one. How can you not? Nobody's beating him.
Yeah.
Nobody.
Sure. Okay, now let's just touch on the very first IFA World Championships. Everything you expected? More?
Yeah, there was, I think there was around 450, 500 people.
Okay.
Now, everybody else,
entries.
That's not entries. Everybody else is count, over North America, we count entries.
Yes.
They counted just bodies.
Okay.
So, people go 2, 3 classes, whatever, or
you have
2
to check
classes.
The results to find out how many.
Yeah, you have to start counting them up. But we had 31 countries, or 31 or 32 countries. Not that far behind WAF for the first year.
We don't even need to compare it. That's, for the very first time, that's a pretty good, good turnout.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think you'll see that just go through the roof next year. So there was a few classes that were small, but there were some classes that were still big too, 15, 16 guys in these classes. So, you still had to fight your way through, and a lot of the top Europeans were still there. So it was it was a good tournament. I mean, first year you're always going to have your little aches and pains, which is to be expected. But I expect next year will be bigger and better.
So time-wise, when you're getting there, so they ran 8 tables.
Yeah.
The timeline, like from start to finish, was it a good, steady flow? 8 tables, a lot of tables.
Yeah, it was. But then they took a break, and then we came back. So those were long days, because then we took a break. So I mean, really, you take a break, but what are you going to do?
What time of day would you start? What time in the morning?
We were there at 8 o'clock in the morning. The referees had to be there because we
Okay.
had meetings and all that kind of stuff. Finished 10 o'clock at night.
Well, that is a long.
I
How
mean,
long of a break did you take?
We had a few hour break, but still.
Okay.
It's not like you're going to go back to your room and have a sleep or anything like
Well,
that.
no,
But
10 o'clock at night, that is a long day.
Yeah.
8 table, I suppose.
But it was only 2 days.
Yeah, I was going to say you're trying to cram everything in.
Yeah,
in a
and there's
couple
so
of
many
days.
there's so many para classes, and junior classes and stuff like that. So it takes a long time, especially the para athletes. They got to get up and get set in their at the table, be it if they're whichever way they're disabled, physically disabled. So it takes a lot longer to run those classes, and there's a lot of them because. You got stand up, you got sit down, you got hearing impaired, you've got sight impaired athletes. So it takes a long time to run a lot of those classes off. And but so next year, I think what we're going to do is take and run the para and the senior classes on 2 days, and run the juniors and the masters on the other 2 days.
So we're going to go from a 2-day tournament to a 4-day tournament?
4-day tournament.
That's the thought?
Yeah.
That actually seems to make a lot of sense.
When you figure you're probably pushing 1,500 to 2,000 entries next year.
Well, yeah. So next year the tournament's going to be held in Orlando in
Disney World. Yeah.
Yeah.
Disneyland, Disney World,
Disney World, Disneyland,
okay.
I believe.
It's California. Okay, I always get those two.
But that's the destination tournament.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, a lot of people are going to take their families.
Absolutely. Why would you not?
Well, yeah, you're going to Disney World. You might as well take your kids.
Well, I watched. I think it was Armed Crossfire with Ryan and Chris Gobby.
Yeah.
And they had Rob Vision Jr. on, and he's like, I'm going to go to Worlds. I'm going to take my family, and we're going to make a vacation.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, I don't think you'd see Rob Vision going to a World Championship.
Yeah. So you know what? So there you go. A lot of guys, he's WAL, so a lot of guys aren't going to get a chance to pull him. Now here's your chance.
Absolutely.
Here's your chance. You want a piece of Rob Vision? There you go.
Yeah, in a tournament setting, a tournament setting is very different than what the WAL does.
And good rules.
Yeah. So that's part of the question. So the complaint in the past was that the World Championships, they didn't let the air musclers pull. Too many referee stoppages, too many nitpicky fouls. What did you find at the IFA? Same sort of refereeing or no?
Yeah, but you know what? I don't think we had that many. I don't know. You'd have to talk to the pullers actually,
Okay.
because when you're up there refereeing, it's just one match after another, after another, after another, and I don't remember fouling a lot of people out.
No,
maybe I did.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, some people got fouled out because they know the rules. Basically, they do things and don't understand it, and they get fouled out that way. But I mean, you can't help that, because the problem that refereeing has now is if an elbow lifts up, people go, well, you should let that go. But then on the other hand, you get the opponent's people videotaping this and pointing out how you missed that elbow foul. So you're damned if you do, damned if you don't.
50 cameras on every match.
Well, yeah. So I mean, every time you have a match, you know, if you're up there and it's a good match, and I let this little tiny elbow foul go, and then you lose, you're gonna throw it back in my face that I missed this elbow foul. You know, halfway through the match. So, you know, what do? Oh, geez, that's 10 minutes already.
That's our timeline. We got to stay
crap.
on.
Okay.
Well, I think this is a format that I thought of mainly because we could sit here and talk for an hour and a half. Well, that's too long.
Yeah.
To sit and watch.
We don't want to be armed crossfire. Oops. Kidding, Ryan, Chris.
Yeah. Because we've done interviews, and I've done interviews in the past, and an hour and a half, 2 hours, you have to break them up. That's just a little bit too long. So,
yeah.
Anyway, we'll be right back in just a moment. All right, great. And we're back, and back for our third and final segment of the show. Take it away, Rick.
Okay, so rumor has it, ArmsportVideos is making a comeback. I know you've been posting stuff left, right, and center here lately. All the old videos. You get stacks and stacks of videos here. You still get the post yet, but now you're going to start coming out and traveling around and.
Yeah, so a little tiny bit of history. I had a heart attack 9 years ago. I think it was 2011. I had a heart attack. Found out at the same time I was diabetic. 30 days after my heart attack, I was on a plane heading to a tournament. So I wasn't allowed to do anything for 30 days. So on day 31, I was on a plane heading to the Mike Gould Classic. A little bit too fast. So a few years go by, my health isn't getting any better. So I started stepping away. I made some commitments. I filmed those events, fulfilled all my commitments, and then just told everybody, like, okay, I'm going to have to retire. I made a promise to my family that I would try and get my health back and get better. And then the Canadian Nationals come to Halifax, and you asked me if I would come and film them. I hadn't done anything in about a year and a half, 2 years, so I thought, sure. I went and filmed them. I thought the video came out pretty good. However, that weekend was a very tolling on my body. So when I got asked to come and do it again, I'm saying, like, I can't. I'm still not healthy enough to be able to do this. So that was, when were the Nationals? 2017. So I spent the next 2 years actually trying to get everything back in order, and it appears that I'm there.
I noticed you lost a bit of weight.
Yeah, so I found a great diabetic meal plan. So I was going on vacation last year, and I didn't have any shorts or shirts that could fit me. So I found this diabetic meal plan, followed it for my first 28-day program, lost 25 pounds in 28 days.
Wow.
Came back from vacation and continued on, so I've lost another 22 pounds. My goal was to lose 50 pounds by Christmas time. I failed. I only lost 47. So, and then we just started again on the program December 30th. So we'll see what happens in the next 28 days.
You might be getting a call from Ryan Espy. I saw on his last podcast, he needs to lose some weight.
I think we're fat shaming him or something like
that. No. He went on and he said that he had to get down to 300 pounds because he was taking his kids, I think, to West Edmonton Mall. And
oh, really?
For him to go on the rides, he had to be under 300. So.
Okay.
No.
Well, when I started this little journey, I was 328.1 pounds. I hadn't seen 299.9 in like 14 years or something. When I quit smoking 15 years ago, and within a year I put on 100 pounds. So what my doctor said was, when you're quitting smoking, don't concentrate on your diet. What I heard was license to eat.
Yeah.
So I had my heart attack. I was 366 pounds. And as we sit here today, I think I'm 281 pounds.
Nice.
Yeah, so the goal was to drop 100 pounds. So I guess the final goal will be 328.1, but I'm going to try and just even it out at 325, or 225, sorry, 228.1.
Wow.
Bring it down to 225, we'll see what happens. So last year I did a couple of tournaments. I did the Nova Scotia Provincials, the Atlantic Canadians, And then I traveled down to Boston, covered the New England Championships. This year, I'm going to cover the Superman tournament in January. I've got the Nova Scotia Provincials again, the Atlantic Canadians again. For those that don't know, I will be going to the Canadian Nationals in Winnipeg and filming that. And a guy in Truro, Nova Scotia, Kenny Snow, has started up the Sunday Slam is what we're calling it. We've got a Sunday Slam championship belt. So that there should be 4 of those this year. So I should be right up around 9 or 10 events this year. And
most of them being local though, so that's
only traveling. I am going to the
Nationals in Winnipeg,
and I'm going to the New England Championships again.
So that's not too far anyway.
No,
anyway,
my wife and I take a week and drive down and see a bit of Boston and just try and relax a little bit. So we are going to try and do this. We'll see what happens.
Well, at least you're keeping it nice and local. So if it doesn't, if it feels like you're affecting your health in the least bit, you're not traveling a long way and going to get stuck somewhere and not feeling the best. Then you got a few tournaments to test it out at first before you go to nationals.
Well, that's the thing. Everything that I do is going to be local until I go to Canadian Nationals in July, and I'm hoping that's.
Well, with the weight down too, it should make a major difference too, just in the way you feel and everything.
Here's hoping.
The traveling shouldn't be near as hard on you when you got to walk 2 miles through an airport if you're carrying 100 less pounds.
Well, that and carrying that bloody tube and.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's basically almost a traveling studio what I travel with.
I know.
We'll see.
I've been there.
I know. More than once you helped carry the stuff and.
That tube's not the most friendly thing to carry around, just because it's so long and awkward and
heavy.
Yeah, well, the heaviness isn't so bad, but it's spread out over 5 feet or 6 feet.
So we're going to try that. We're going to try this this In Focus show and do a little bit more videos and different topics and see how this goes. I don't know. Only time will tell.
Yeah, for sure.
So in the future, we're gonna shoot a show. I want to bring Kenny Snow in, who's started this
Sunday
Slam event. Bringing the team from Nova Scotia that went to the IFAs.
Yeah.
And different guys down here, and see how it goes.
For sure, should be a good time. Especially when you're talking to, we start talking to people that went away to the IFA championships and get their take on everything.
Well, absolutely. I mean, everybody gets to hear the officials. You're president of the CAWF. You're over there as a referee. We don't actually hear from the pullers that often.
Yeah.
So I'd like to hear from them and let them.
Maybe we can give Joe Fox a call too when he comes back from Belarus.
Absolutely. See how he made out over there.
Yeah, and get his whole experience on the whole thing. And I sent him some video, so hopefully that'll help him out prepare to move into the top 8, which I think would just be spectacular for him to make the top 8.
Yeah, so that's what ArmsportVideos is going to try and do, and continue to load videos up to our YouTube channel. Right now, as we sit here, I'm on 1998. I should finish up 1998, and then move on to 1997. I hope everybody's enjoying the videos.
No, for sure.
It's just some old stuff.
That's a good thing, though. It hasn't been around nobody's really seen it for a long time.
Well, it's funny they
now you get to go back and look at it and go, holy crap, look at this.
My website was up, and I didn't change my website as technology changed, and you had to be on a PC to play the videos. You had to have certain things to play.
Now people are watching them all on their phones.
Yeah. With the advent of YouTube and all that, it's great. So I hope they enjoy the videos, and so that's what we're up to this year.
So then after Nationals, what's plans after Nationals? Have you made any yet?
After Nationals, I will go and do the New England Championships in the fall.
Okay, that's in the fall. Okay.
Yeah, that was the end of September.
Holy crap, that's close to the IFA Championships.
Yeah, it is, and I don't know if they're going to change the date. Maybe it's the end of October. I'm trying to remember the date. It never affected their date, like the WAF World Championships, didn't affect the New England Championships.
Yeah, well,
that
they were
much.
always in Europe, so how many people are really going? You know, you
Yeah.
might lose a couple of people.
And a lot of the people that are going to the New Englands weren't going to go to the Worlds anyway.
Yeah.
With the IFA World Championships going to be in Orlando, it could affect them.
Yeah, for sure.
Whenever they get their date, Josh and John Brown will let me know, and I'll book the time. But I don't have anything else booked after July.
Yeah.
So
It would be good too for us to know in Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, when those New England, because a lot of people may say, "Geez, I'll go down and check it out." So as soon as we get a date, them guys give us a shout, and we'll try to keep some tournaments away from that if we can.
yeah,
And that way, maybe we can get some more people from Nova Scotia, New Brunswick going down and checking out the New England Championships.
well, this past year we had Liam Johnson.
Liam goes everywhere.
He traveled from Cape Breton. I drove, and I'm thinking it's a pretty good hike to drive
Yeah,
to Boston.
that's another 3 hours for him.
Yeah, and he had a great tournament. Finished second,
Yeah,
and he had a lot of fun.
yeah.
So we sat.
He's a great kid.
Yeah, we sat
great
and chatted for a
kid.
little bit.
Yeah.
And he had a lot of fun pulling, and
He enjoyed himself big time over in hopefully he'll be at Superman. There's another guy you can interview. He took a third
Because
in the
he was
juniors.
there?
He took a third in the juniors. I mean, geez, there was a lot of people from Nova Scotia went there. If Dre Denny comes down, he didn't place, but he did very well. He's from Cape Breton also. He's got a lot of potential.
oh yeah,
He's built for arm wrestling, so I'm really hoping he really sticks with it. I think he had a great time, and same as Liam, and I think it really opened their eyes and made them
okay.
want to really explore the sport a whole lot more.
Of course, not being at the IFA, but Liam was in New England, and he has this almost infectious smile.
Oh yeah,
And he was having
yeah.
so much fun. It was great to sit there and watch him, and he was having a ball. And pullers from this area, from the Maritimes, should make the drive down to New England.
Yeah.
It's a good tournament. It was a good setup and great competition.
Yeah,
So,
and hopefully we will get Liam because he's got a great little story too. So
Oh, really?
that happened
Okay.
to him over there. Yeah, really put a smile on his face. So and everybody else when he tells you the story was really good.
okay,
You
good.
know? Yeah.
So down there this past year we had BLM, Brendan Mulvihill,
Yeah.
was down calling out Rob Vigent, and Rob didn't pull. Rob was in attendance, but he didn't pull. And Brendan looked good that day.
Yeah.
Had a couple of good matches.
There's a young guy that's really coming on.
He really is coming on, and
It looks like he's having a good time.
the potential is
He's making great strides.
absolutely
And so he plans on going to Florida.
good for him.
So you know what? Some of those classes are going to be stacked. They're absolutely stacked down there. So I'm really hoping a lot of the Europeans come over and see what we've been hiding.
Yeah, it could be a great event.
Yeah. Because, I mean, traveling within Europe is dirt cheap. Some of those guys flew from Sweden to Poland for like 40 euros, 50 euros.
Yeah, we're not getting across the street.
We're spending that to park.
Yeah, come on. So anyway, that's what we're up to, and if you want to get in contact with me, I'll put my email address on the bottom of the screen, and
Yep.
just shoot me an email or.
Get something happening.
That's
More
right.
stuff on the go.
So, and look, that's it for our first episode.
Sounds good.
We'll wrap this up, and we'll see you all next time. Thanks very much.
Take care.